Hey everybody, welcome back. Had some mail over the last week and just wanted to share some of the things we got in. Also, hey Ron, you know what this sounds like? Remind you of anybody? I'm just messing with him. If I can't bust Ron's balls, I don't know who I can. Alright, so anyway, I want to start this video off actually with a dream I had last night that I thought was actually pretty cool. So, I had this dream that I was walking in like a wooded area, forest or something, and I was walking with the original members of Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi, Bill Ward, Geezer Butler, and Ozzy Osbourne. And so as we're walking, we're having this discussion, and I'm being like a complete fanboy in this dream. As I should be, because Black Sabbath is my favorite band. So I started talking about Tony Iommi and his guitar playing, and I'm just like, you know, your guitar playing is so great. There doesn't even really be any need for vocals or lyrics or anything. And so then I'm like, but the vocals are great for the first 6 albums, 7, 8 albums, and then start talking about how I love Geezer Butler's bass lines and telling him the first time I heard the intro to NIB, blew me away. And I talking to Bill Ward about how he's my favorite drummer of all time, because he is. And so then we end up like in this house, and we start discussing the records, and I'm like, Masters of Reality is my favorite Sabbath album. And Geezer Butler is like quick to jump in. He's like, but that's not our best album. I said, I didn't say it's your best album. I said it's my favorite album. Then after that, I don't even really remember what happened in the dream, so it probably doesn't even matter. But I just thought that was a pretty cool dream. Probably the closest I'm ever going to get to Black Sabbath, considering I'll probably never get to see them live or anything. So anyway, so like I said, we had some stuff come in the mail recently, and I did stop by Scratch and Spin a few minutes ago. I had done some work for my supervisor. She gave me a little bit of money, so I went and got some crates to put my records in, because I was running out of room desperately, and decided to go ahead and stop in there for a little quick see what I could just grab, like one record, which I did. And my wife just a couple of days ago picked up a new turntable, so we tested that out last night with one of the records I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start off with the one that I picked up today. I'm not a huge fan of The Who, but I know she likes them. So I went ahead and picked up their, let's see, does it say anywhere on the back? 1978 album, Who Are You? And I can honestly tell you the only song that I really know off this song is the title track, because of CSI. But pick that up. Good $8 pickup. I'm going to go with the ones my wife had come in first. The second and third, respectively, Megadeth albums. Peace Sells But Who's Buying, released in 1986. My favorite Megadeth album. And then their 1988 release, So Far, So Good, So What? Which I think is a very underrated record. I think Hook and Mouth and In My Darkest Hour are probably the ones they usually play live the most. But Liar, 502, Mary Jane is actually my favorite song on this album. I'm not too crazy about the reissues, and these are what these are. When I had to build up my Megadeth CD collection back up, all they had were the reissues, so I didn't really have any choice but to buy those. They got some cool like demo tracks at the end and stuff like that, but I really wasn't, especially with Peace Sells, the bass was like really, really loud on the CD. Not so much on this record, so I'm glad for that. But the reissue elements are in this one, with the little trumpet thing that goes into the Lungs of Hell on the opening track, which I'm not a huge fan of that part. And then little scary woo-hoo-hoo things on Mary Jane, which kind of almost ruins my favorite song on the album. But they're just really the only two things, and there's like an acoustic intro for In My Darkest Hour. Not enough to make me, hate the reissue or not have it, but I just didn't really think they were necessary. So, moving on, the one that we tested the new player on, Queensryche 1988 album, Operation Mindcrime, which I think a lot of people hail as their best album. Personally, my favorite album is the self-titled EP. I could have had, probably about 3 years ago, I could have had that if I had already started collecting. A buddy of mine, Phil, as a matter of fact, at Music Gator, at the previous location that he had before he moved for the second time, he had the self-titled EP, I think, for like $6 or $8. So, missed out on that. He also had Dio Last in Line, missed out on that one as well. So, probably should have started collecting a little earlier. Then, the last one that my wife had ordered, I believe this is a 1983 Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. I believe it's 83. I know I had to look on the actual record to see what it was. No, I didn't. I had to just look on the inner sleeve, 1983. So, little Billy Idol to grace the collection. And the last one I'm going to show you is the one that I had come in, which is the 1970... I know I had to look on the record to find this one, because I want to say... Yeah. 1978 Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll. The third and last studio album that Richie did with Dio on vocals. So I only need the debut, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, to complete the Dio era of Rainbow. So, super excited to finally have that. This one, the Billy Idol and the Operation Mindcrime all came yesterday. And the two Megadeth records, I think, came last Wednesday. Because I went to work, and my wife had sent me a text and showed me the picture they came in, of course, on the day I had to go back to work. So anyway, those are the newest additions, and I thank you guys for watching, and God bless.